Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Wednesday, July 8th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation to pause in the middle of your day and take a breath and center yourself in God who made you and loves you, who renews you and refreshes you. So each day, each time that I present one of these take a break sessions, we've been working our way through the Psalms, and today's Psalm is Psalm 53. And Psalm 53 is the same as Psalm 14, almost completely. There's a few differences. The Hebrew name for God is different. In this case, it's Elohim instead of the name of God that is given on the mountain to Moses. The other difference is that in the middle of the psalm there is some reference to terror, and it seems the differences between the two are the psalms around them. And so in the case of these psalms, the psalmist has been experiencing a lot of oppression, and so when the psalmist is thinking about people who ignore God and say there is no God, the psalmist feels confident that terror will come upon them when they see the reality of God's existence. The verse I chose is the first verse. Fools say in their hearts, there is no God. They are corrupt. They commit abominable acts. There is no one who does good. As long as we're confident in our own power and our own security, as long as we're confident in our own need to keep things right, and then we are living a foolish life, because God created us. God can set things right, and we don't win by putting others down. We don't find security by having more strength than anyone else. We find our security in the one who made us. So I invite you to go to that room or place in your house that is quiet and away from all of the activity for just a brief time. If there's a door, close it and settle into a chair and get comfortable. And then close your eyes and breathe. And as you breathe in the breath of God, the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And with each breath, feel the peace of God that comes to you. Feel the goodness of God that surrounds you. Feel the comfort of God that upholds you. Imagine the peace and comfort of God coming to you like cool water on a hot day. We've been living through a lot of hot days, and so let's use that imagery. And imagine that you're stepping down into a nice, cool pool of water. And when you put your feet in and you feel the coolness, when there is so much heat, it relaxes the muscles in your feet, and you feel the refreshment of God's presence with you. And then imagine that you take another step down, and so you're in up to your knees, and your calves relax. And then imagine stepping down again, and you're in up to your waist. And your thighs and your hips relax. And And all those tensions are floating away across the water. And then you step down again and you are in up to water just under your arms. And the muscles in your back and your stomach relax. And you can begin to smile. And then you dip down and your shoulders and your arms are under the water. Maybe you splash it a little bit as you bring your hands under the water. And there is more relaxation and peace in that moment. And you dip down a little further and you're in up to your chin. And your neck muscles begin to relax. And if there's been tension in your head from all of those neck muscles, it begins to float away across the water. And then you dip your head under the water for a minute and you come up and you're smiling. And the muscles in your face and your brow and your head are all relaxed. And you know that you are bathing in the peace and the love and the compassion of God. And then in your mind's eye, go to a place where you and God can be together. Might be a special room in your house. It might be a church sanctuary. It might be a garden. But there is room for two of you. And God comes to you. You can feel as God comes to you the strength and power of God, the Creator. But that strength and power comes to you not as terror, but as comfort. You feel safe in the presence of God. There is awe, for sure, but also security. And in this moment, God invites you to talk, asks you what is on your mind, and responds to you. So I'll be quiet while the two of you talk for a moment. And then the time comes for the conversation to end, and if it hasn't been long enough, just hit pause. And you say goodbye to one another in whatever way is appropriate. knowing that you can come back to this place and to God's presence, because God is always present with you. And after you say goodbye, you allow that image to fade away. And you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you are ready, you open your eyes. Well, that is Take a Break, Take a Breath for July 8th. If you want to talk or to pray together, or you have feedback for me, send it to rick@prospectchurch.org.